Sri Gurubhyo Namaha children. We welcome you to our online teaching academy Ekalaiva. For the past 2 days, we were discussing about cost and revenue analysis. In that, we discussed about various concepts. Today, we are going to start with marginal cost, and we are also going to discuss about the revenue analysis. So first, what is meant by marginal cost? It is the cost of the last single unit produced. It is defined as the change in total cost resulting from producing one extra unit of output. So in other words, it is the addition made to the total cost by producing one extra unit of output. So marginal cost is important for deciding whether any additional output can be produced or not. So in this we can see the equation MC equal to change in TC by change in Q. So in this we can see MC is marginal cost and change in TC denotes change in total cost and change in Q denotes change in total quantity produced. So for example, if a firm produces 4 units of output and the total cost is 1600, when the firm produces one more unit, that is 4 plus 1, that is 5 units of output, if the total cost it spent was 1900, then the marginal cost is MC, that is 1900 minus 1600. That is the 5th unit minus 4th unit. So here the marginal cost is rupees 300. Now the other method of calculating marginal cost is MCN equal to TCN minus TCN minus 1. Here MC denotes marginal cost. Here TCN denotes cost of nth item. So we may take in our previous example 5th unit, and here TCN minus 1 denotes the cost of n minus 1th item. So in our example also we can take it as 4 minus 1 or 5 minus 1, like that. And from this tabular column you would have understand that quantities produced. So 1, second unit, third unit, fourth unit, fifth unit, when they are producing, here total cost also differs, isn't it? So here for first unit 1200 and for the second unit 1300. So what is the difference between these second unit and first unit? That is 1300 minus 1200, that is the marginal cost. And if you take the difference between the third unit and second unit, so if we have produced 2 units and if we decide to produce one additional unit, that is third unit, so the difference between the expenses which involved in the production of the third unit and second unit we have to subtract. So here also third unit 1400 and second unit 1300, so we are getting 100 as marginal cost. So in the same way we can calculate marginal cost for in all the terms. Now we have to note 3 things here from this diagram. So in this diagram you can see marginal cost is marked over y-axis and quantity is marked in x-axis. The number of units we produce, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, isn't it? So in the same way, marginal cost. There in the previous tabular column, we calculated the marginal cost, isn't it? So if we join these points, we will get the marginal cost curve. So it falls first due to more efficient of variable factors. You can see marginal cost falls first, then it increases at the lowest point and it started to slope upwards. So MC curve is a U-shaped curve. So the slope of total cost is marginal cost. Next, we are going to discuss about AC and MC, the relationship between AC and MC. So here they have given some relationship between this. When AC is falling, MC lies below AC. And in this diagram, you can find two curves, that is AC curve and MC curve. You can see AC curve is falling and MC lies below the AC. So when AC becomes constant, MC also becomes equal to it at constant. When AC starts increasing, MC lies above the AC, you can see. So here AC starts increasing and here MC curve lies above the AC. So MC curve always cuts AC at its minimum point from below. This is the intersection point of these curves AC and MC. Next we are going to discuss about long run cost curve. So you know the difference between long run and short run. In our previous lesson we discussed these concepts separately, isn't it? So we discussed that in the long run, all factors of production become variable. So for example, the size of the firm may be increased or some technology may be introduced, some modern machineries may be installed, isn't it? So if we take long run cost curve, there are neither fixed inputs nor fixed costs. So everything will keep on changing. So long run average cost curve, it is equal to long run total cost divided by the level of output. So actually this long run cost curves or group of short run average cost curves, you can see it is the locus of different short run average cost curves. In this diagram you can see this is the long run cost curve which comprises of short run average cost curves. So locus, this is the locus or long run average cost curve is locus of short run average cost curves. So as I told you, long run average cost curve, it is derived from short run average cost curve. It is the locus of points denoting the least loss curve of producing the corresponding unit. So the LAC curve, this long run average cost curve, it is also called as boat shape curve or planning curve or envelope curve. These are all the other names for long run cost curve. Now we are going to discuss about the revenue analysis. So the amount of money that a producer receives in exchange for the sale of goods. When we sell the produced commodity or a product to the consumer, we will get some amount, we will earn some amount. So that is known as revenue. So revenue means sales revenue. So it is the amount received by a firm or the producer by selling the product, sale of a given quantity of a commodity at the available market price. So for example, if a firm sells 10 books at a price of 100 each, then the total revenue of that firm will be rupees 1000. So that is price into quantity, 100 into 10. The firm will receive 100 rupees, sorry 1000 rupees by selling 10 books. Now we are going to discuss about the revenue concepts. First, we are going to discuss about the total revenue. The amount of income received by the firm by selling the product, by the sale of its product is known as total revenue. It is obtained by multiplying the price of the commodity by the number of units sold. In the previous slide also we saw, isn't it? So total revenue equal to price of that book into quantity sold. So example, a cell phone company sold 100 cell phones at the price of 500 each. So here total revenue is price of the cell phone is 500, number of cell phones sold was 100. So 500 into 100 equal to 50,000 is the total revenue for that company. Now we are going to discuss about the total revenue at constant price. So for example, if you take certain products, the price will not change for a long period. It will remain constant. So in this diagram, in this tabular column, you can see the quantity sold. If the person is selling one product, one unit, the price is 5. If the person is going to sell two products, the price remains constant here. It is not increasing or decreasing, no fluctuation in the price. Only the quantity sold differs. So when the quantity sold differs, the total revenue will also differ. So if the quantity sold is 2, then 2 into 5 equal to 10. If the quantity sold is increased to 3, then the person will receive 15 rupees. So according to that, we can calculate the total revenue at constant price. The same has been here, assuming that price is 5. It is not going to change. So when price is 5 in this graphical representation, you can see the number of quantities sold. It is marked in x-axis and the total revenue is marked in y-axis. So if you join this, you will get a straight line. So that is total revenue. Now we are going to discuss when price is declining, what will happen to the total revenue. So it can be obtained from demand function. So in this tabular column, you can see quantity sold, it is increasing from 1 to 5 and price, it is declining from 10 to 1. So here total revenue will also change. So for example, if you take festival season, the price of the flowers, it will be fluctuating. If you go in the morning, if you are decided to buy rose, so one rose, you may have to spend 10 rupees to buy one rose. So the total revenue the seller is getting will be rupees 10. So by evening, the rose will become, it will lose its freshness. So automatically price will decline. So if you go by night, you will get 10 roses for 1 rupee also. So here also the total revenue the person is getting is 10. So but quantity sold is differs, price also differs, but revenue is same. So in this situation, you will get a curve like this. So here they have marked the units and here they have marked the total revenue. So from the starting it is increasing. So the number of units also increasing. So as the price is declining, the total revenue will also decline when compared to the quantity sold. Okay, next we discussed about the total revenue. Now we are going to discuss about the average revenue. So in the previous class, we discussed about total cost and average cost. Here, instead of cost, we are having the word revenue. That's it. So the revenue per unit of the commodity sold is known as average revenue. It is calculated by dividing the total revenue by the number of units sold. So average revenue equal to, so what is the average? That is the price also. So total revenue by quantity. So total revenue equal to PQ, that is price into quantity sold. Here AR equal to PQ divided by Q. So if we cancel this Q and Q, we will get the price. So here one example is given. If the total revenue from the sale of 5 units is rupees 30, so 5 units is 30 means what is the average revenue? So in our previous class also I told you, if anybody asks you the average mark, if you have written for 500 marks, so automatically you will be dividing 500 divided by number of subjects 5, you will say the percentage, isn't it? So in the same way, average revenue equal to total revenue divided by the quantity sold. So here total revenue is 30 and 5 is the quantity sold. So it is 6 is the average revenue. So 6 is the price of that product. So you have to keep in your mind that is average revenue is equal to price. So this is the formula, mathematical formula. Average revenue equal to total revenue by quantity. So already I showed you how we got. We have to cancel this Q and Q and we will get the price. Next, we are going to discuss about marginal revenue. Just you recall what is meant by marginal cost. So instead of cost, you have to keep in your mind the revenue. So addition to the total revenue by sale of an additional unit of a commodity. So the same concept we discussed for cost. So here MR can be found by dividing the change in total revenue by the change in quantity sold. So in the previous paragraph, how we subtracted the next unit minus the previous unit in the same concept. So marginal revenue equal to change in the total revenue by change in the quantity. So the other method, in the previous marginal cost also we discussed the same. So TRN minus TRN minus 1 or TRN plus 1 plus TRN. So here MR denotes the marginal revenue, TRN denotes the total revenue of the nth item. Here n minus 1th item, n plus 1 means n plus 1 item. So we can calculate in two ways. Now we are going to discuss about the relationship between the AR and MR curves. So first at fixed price, we are going to discuss if a firm is able to sell additional unit at same price, then AR and MR will be equal. If there is not going to be any fluctuation in the price level and then the firm is able to sell the products, additional units also at the same price. In that case, AR and MR will be constant and equal. When price remains constant, MR will also be constant and will coincide with AR. Under perfect competition, as the price is uniform and fixed, AR is equal to MR and the shape will be a straight line horizontal to x-axis. So in this diagram you can see so here AR and MR both are equal at constant price. Here you can see quantity sold and the price is fixed, that is 5. Total revenue you know how to calculate and average revenue also you know how to calculate. Now marginal revenue is here 10 minus 5, 5, 15 minus 10, 5, 20 minus 15, 5. So therefore average revenue and marginal revenue both are equal. Now at declining price, if the firm is able to sell additional units only by reducing the price, then AR and MR will fall and will be different. So I told you example of rose. fast, isn't it? So fall in MR will be more steeper than in fall in the AR. So MR will be lower than AR when the price declines. So both AR and MR will be sloping downwards straight from left to right. So in this tabular column, you can see quantity is given, average revenue is given, total revenue is given, and marginal revenue is given here. And if we plot all these points in a graphical representation, you can see price is marked in x-axis, and you can see AR and MR. So it is to be noted that MR will be lower than AR. You can see in this diagram. Both AR and MR will be sloping downwards. You can see how it is sloping down. The MR curve, if you take, it divides the AR curve and y-axis into two equal parts. The decline in AR need not be a straight line or linear. If the prices are declining with the increase in quantity sold, the AR can be non-linear also sometimes, taking a shape of concave or convex to the origin. Okay children, today we discussed about revenue analysis, total cost, marginal cost, everything we discussed. To receive our online lessons, please press the subscribe button and you will receive the latest updates. Thank you children.